to another edition of Have You Heard? I'm Barbara, and today we feature Guy Davis. He's here at the newly reopened Tupelo Music Hall doing a benefit for Cover Home Repair and the White River Indie Film Festival.
Going home, friends, sit down and tell my poor mama. Friends, sit down and tell my mom. Well, I'm going home, sit down, tell my mom. I'm going home, friends, sit down, tell my mom. And that's no way for me to get along. These low down people, mama, they treated your poor son wrong. They treated your poor son wrong. You low down people where they treated your poor son wrong. They low down people where they treated your poor son wrong. And that's no way for me to get along. They treated me like my poor heart was made from a rock or stone. Made from a rock of stone. Treated me like my poor heart made of a rock of stone. Treated me like my poor heart made of a rock of stone. And that's no way for me to get along. Hey, this thing. Know that was enough, mama, to make your son wish he dead and gone, baby, wish I dead and gone. That's enough to make your poor son wish he dead and gone. That's enough to make your poor son wish he dead and gone. And that's no way for me to get along. I stood out on the roadside, I cried alone. All by myself, I cried all by myself. Stood alone on the roadside, cried all by myself. Stood alone on the roadside, cried all by myself. And that's no way for me to get along. I'm wanting some train to come and take me on away from here. Come on, take me away from here. Some train to come along and take me away from here. Train to come along and take me away from here. And that's the way for me to get along. So very much. That's the way to go. Well, it's no secret that Sonny Terry is one of my #1 heroes. A wonderful harmonica master, wizard. And back in 1947, he stepped on the Broadway stage in a musical called Finian's Rainbow. Played that harmonica on the stage. He played a blind sharecropper, and a beautiful girl danced all over the stage while he did it. And back in 2009, 2010, the play was revived on Broadway, and that's the part I had. Beautiful ballerina. I mean, a harmonica play. It got me upset. And I played this harmonica that did the best I could with that Sonny Terry stuff, but it took me like 20 years to figure out what he was doing. Never mind how to play it, 20 years to figure out what he was doing. So let's see if I can do this piece called Did You See My Baby? Did you see my baby go? Did you see my mama go? Did you see my honey go? Did you see my sweetie go? Baby went, honey went, mama went, sweetie went, baby went. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Was she walking or riding? 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 She was walking, riding, walking, riding. Did she bring me water? Did she bring me whiskey? Did she bring me water? Did she bring me whiskey? Water, whiskey, water, whiskey. Ooh, Did you see my baby go? Did you see my honey go? Did you see my mama go? Did you see my sweetie go? Baby went, honey went, mama went, sweetie went, baby went. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. I first came across Pete Seeger, who I guess his name comes up when you look at the symbol on his hat. Came across his music before I came across him. I was just a kid at a summer camp up in Vermont, and it was run by his brother. So I heard the songs that Pete Seeger sings before I got to see or meet Pete. And a little bit of that was blues. It was mostly folk music, folk songs, Bob Dylan, you name it. It was all happening at that camp. So a lot of guitars, a few 5-string banjos, maybe 1 or 2 mandolins, very few violins. And it gave me an aptitude for, I guess, acoustic music, the sound of it, the feel of it. It wasn't until I was a teenager that I picked up an electric guitar. Now that was quite an experience. I was at another summer camp and we went to see Buddy Guy and Junior Wells in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They were playing, maybe it was Club 47. It was an afternoon show, so us teenagers just kind of sat there and was sipping soda.
And Buddy Guy and Junior Wells played, and they got on these electric blue tape outfits. The hair was still straight. This was before afros came in, or before they got in vogue with the blues community, put it that way. And Junior was just sucking all the air out of the harmonica, bending the notes, going, the kind of stuff he does. And Buddy was bending the notes, and I'm waiting for the strings to break. I was sitting on the edge of my seat, and I recall feeling very adult. Felt like I was a grown-up. I was only maybe 15, 16 at the time. That was my introduction to the blues. I'd had this background of acoustic music. Then along comes Taj Mahal. I hear the music of this amazing and crazy, fantastic musician. And he's playing acoustic music, acoustic blues, the Robert Johnson, the Mississippi John Hurt. And I don't know, I was sort of at a crossroads. I was at a crossroads myself then. Now, thinking I might want to play some rock and roll, because that, electric guitar Buddy Guy played was really powerful. This is before I'd even heard of Jimi Hendrix, let alone seen anything about him. I was thinking about electric guitar. I even got one. But I discovered over the next couple of years that acoustic guitar was really my sound. That was what was in me to play. Back at that summer camp, I picked up a 5-string banjo. That was a lot of fun. And I played it in concerts, clawhammer style, with all the downstrokes, no upstrokes, which I understand is the same way that some of the West African performers from centuries ago used to do. It was an instrument called the ngoni, which looked like a gourd banjo, something not unlike that. They'd hit all downstrokes. And I've been on tour with people like Otis Taylor and Alvin Youngblood Hart, Corey Harris, Don Vappy, doing the Black Banjo tour. And there was a musician whose name I'm embarrassed to say that I've forgotten, a West African musician, who played one such instrument, I guess ngoni. And he would open for us when he was a solo, but when his band showed up, we'd open for him, because those guys would beat the heck out of those ngonis and drums and I'm about to say cassava melons, but no, I mean the shekares and cassava melons. So it's like that. Music is just, it's all over the place. I see it in everything. Blues is, I guess, something that was in my house in a way that I didn't understand it. It wasn't as music, it wasn't as records, it wasn't on the radio in my house. We heard Fats Waller, Ola Tunji's Drums of Passion, Harry Belafonte. But my grandmother, the way she spoke, she came from South Carolina, that was the blues. I didn't know it at the time, but that was the blues. These were the people, my grandmother was the people the blues songs were written about. She was married to my granddad when she was just a teenager. He was in his 30s, I think. And he'd been a track liner, head man on a team of track liners. And those guys were doing work songs while they lined the track and get the railroads, give the railroad something straight to run on. And so when I played some Taj Mahal's version of the track lining song from my grandma, when the record went off, she sang 2 or 3 verses that weren't on the record. Because she knew this stuff. She knew it. So the blues has been close to me even when I didn't realize it. And in later years, going back about 8 years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago, my grandmother used to say, you sound just like your granddaddy and his brothers. And I never got to hear them perform a single note, because my granddad died when I was very young. But hey, maybe it's just in the human enzymes here.
We're going to do a song now. It's Blues by Muddy Waters. It's called Can't Be Satisfied, but it's going to be performed on a 5-string banjo. Ridiculous, they might have said. Well, I'm going to tell you about my experience over there in London, England, at the Royal Albert Hall, singing this song with his band here, and the Queen was there. Whoa. That's right. Don't get too excited. This may or may not be true. But the Queen was there. And I can see her right up there in the balcony. you know. And it was right behind the royal purple monogram with the gold dragon embroidered on it. They said it was a gold lion, but it looked like a dragon to me. Don't it just look like a dragon? Well, anyway, I announced that I'm going to sing Can't Be Satisfied. And that is when the clash of cultures occurred. See, the folks over there are called subjects. We here are called citizens. And the difference is this. Subjects are required by their own archaic laws to carry upon their person at all times a copy of the Oxford English Dictionary. In case they run into any Americans who want to correct our grammar. And we as citizens, you know, we're free people. So when I said I was going to do Can't Be Satisfied, there's a word there the subjects didn't understand, so you should have seen them folks fumbling for them books, trying to, you know, find out what the word meant. I told them, stop. Can't be found. Can't be satisfied. Here you go. Well, I'm gone away to leave you. Won't be back no more. Going back down south, baby, don't you wanna go? I'm in trouble. Oh, honey, I'm all worried now. Every man I can't be satisfied. Just can't keep from crying. If I fail tomorrow, like I feel today, I'm gonna pack my suitcase, honey, make my getaway. I'm in trouble, Lord, honey, I'm all worried now. Every man can't be satisfied, just can't keep from crying. Professor, look, how'd you like to do something? Professor, look, now here's a word for Dick Cheney. Word for Dick Cheney, you remember. I feel like stabbing my pistol in your face. That's so lonesome, baby, I'd honey be your resting place. I'm in trouble, oh baby, I'm all worried now. Every man I can't be satisfied, just can't keep from crying. What are you from Dr. Mark Murphy over there? Trouble, oh honey, I'm all worried now. Every man I can't be satisfied, just can't keep from crying. Tell about my baby, and you know my baby, like to jump and shout when that train be late, Lord, and I come walking out. I'm in trouble, oh honey, I'm all so worried now. chocolate kisses in your mouth. You chew them up north and then slide down south. You got the chocolate man. I'm a chocolate man. Now sing me what I got. Sing it, sing it. You got chocolate kisses, get it from me while you can. You'll do better next time. Once you start, you can't stop till you eat all the chocolate in my chocolate shop. I'm the chocolate man. I'm the chocolate man. Sing me what I got. I got chocolate kisses, get it from me while you can. I play the chocolate music when I sing the blues. I got chocolate buttons on my dancing shoes. I'm the chocolate man. I'm the chocolate man. Sing me what I got. I got chocolate kisses, get it from me while you can. Everybody do the chocolate dance. You can lick it off your finger, roll it on your tongue. Everybody glad when they see me come. I'm the chocolate man. I'm the chocolate man. I got chocolate kisses, get it from me while you can. One more time. I'm the chocolate man. I'm the chocolate man. Tell me what you got. I got chocolate kisses, get it from me while you can.
One of the great things with playing with Guy Davis is the search for the great music of the past to bring it to the future. I'd like to do a song that I had a little bit of responsibility for the band moving forward. It's not in the last waltz, from the first CD that I had a chance to produce. A tune by Bob Dylan, since we're on that schedule here, and about the great blues man from down in Atlanta, Georgia way, called Blind Willie McTell. See the arrow on the doorpost, saying this land is condemned, all the way to New Orleans, to Jerusalem. Now I've traveled through East Texas, where many a martyr fell, and I know one thing: nobody can sing them blues like Blind Willie McTell. Guy Davis on that mandolin.
And there's a woman standing by the river. She is with a fine, young, handsome man. He's all dressed just like a squire. He got bootleg whiskey in his hand. And there's a chain gang out on the highway. Oh, I can hear them rebels yell. I know one thing: nobody can sing them blues like Blind Willie McTell.
steps, coming down the stairs. I miss the smell of roses that you wore in your hair. I miss the morning sunrise, laying in your bed. Miss the sound of your laughter. Something funny that I said. I got the blues in the midnight hour. Tell me how long till the break of day. Baby, I'm missing you. Yes, I'm missing you so bad. Listen to the sound of people praying in the midnight hour. In the midnight hour, one woman goes while another one is staying. In the midnight hour. In the midnight hour. Sit here thinking about my sorrow. In the midnight hour. In the midnight hour. Lay here dreaming of tomorrow. In the midnight hour. In the midnight hour. Last night I dreamed I saw you. I dreamed I held you tight. I dreamed I said I love you. Then we danced all night. No one knows my heartache. No matter how I sing. my sleep. I'm happy in my dream. Last night I dreamed I saw your face. It had a great big smile. I dreamed that we were eagles, and we flew for miles and miles. When I woke up at midnight, I walked out around the yard. That's when I try to forget you, because it makes my time so hard. I got the blues, oh Lord, I got the blues in the midnight hour. Tell me how long, until the break of day. Baby, I'm missing you. Yes, I'm missing you so bad. Thank you, blues in the midnight hour.
I don't see how I could possibly become who I am without having been shaped to some extent by my parents. They always wanted me to work more with words, with reading, with speaking. And I wanted to get away from them and be my own self as much as possible, get away from these big, drafty, monolithic parents whose behavior I was supposed to be an example of. You know. Well, so I chose music, but it led me right back around to what they wanted anyway. That's the words, the stories. I became what my parents have been for years, storytellers. That's what I am. So, yes, I think with a benevolent and open hand, they had a lot to do with shaping me as who I am. But I was free to look around, and as a blues musician, I steal from everybody.
I don't know, do you have any last words for your Vermont and New Hampshire audience?
Oh my God. Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, watch who you vote for. That's all.